very good evening. From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. I'm Vidushni Sadish Kumar.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vinaprarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. President says the only era during which a gun belonging to the government was not fired at any citizen was during his period of administration. The presidential candidate of the National People's Power is the JVP leader Anurakkumara Disanayaka. Prime Minister said that even though there was no majority power, they implemented many development projects within the country. Acting IGP calls for a report in connection with investigations related to 6 incidents. Promotions very soon for 31,000 in the police. 63 killed in a bomb blast in Afghanistan. A test victory for Sri Lanka against New Zealand.
In your local stories this evening, President Maithripala Sirisena said that the only era during which a gun belonging to the government was not fired at any citizen of this country was during his period of administration. The president declared that on 8 January 2015, 6.2 million people voted against the existing administration on behalf of freedom and democracy. The president made this comment on the occasion of handing over to the people the village Sorivila Kotaralagama in Dimbulagala and Disalagama in Jeevahattagama Rivekan villages in Dalukana of the Polonnaru district. These were built under the Samata 7 Yalipibidena Udagammana program and vested in the public as the 254th, 255th and 256th model villages. 66 houses have been built in the 3 villages at a cost of 69.1 million rupees, fulfilling the aspirations of the new generation of the Aborigines and housing beneficiaries under the guidance of the President in conjunction with the Day of the Aborigines. The Sorivila Kotaralagama model village consisting of 16 houses was built. The Jeevahattagama comprises of 27 houses, while Disalagama has 23 houses. The President said, speaking about Minister Sajith Premadasa, that this excellent mission he was carrying out on behalf of destitute, poverty-stricken people in this district without houses under the housing development program was greatly appreciated by him. The President further said that Sajith Premadasa was a talented and honest minister in the government. He also said that Sajith Premadasa was not a corrupt person in politics and was not a thief either, and that he could give that guarantee. The President further said that at the same time, he is someone who associated common people and had honest qualities. When considering the terms of the past presidents, the only era during which a gun belonging to the government was not fired at any citizen of this country was during his period of administration. Whoever contests the upcoming presidential election and wins, he should give a pledge to the people that he will take steps to destroy drug rackets and drugs. The President said that any winning presidential candidate should declare that he will implement the death penalty against drug dealers. Minister Sajith Premadasa said that they have to ensure economic and social rights of the people. If so, he said a great upheaval in the pattern of the economy has to be done. He also promised to throw aside the new liberalist concepts in the near future and bring about a mixed economic system, and that a fair method where the wealth that is within the country is distributed equally among all the ethnicities will be generated. The President, who vested the housing project in the people, handed over the keys of the houses to the owners as well. Minister Sajith Premadasa handed over housing entitlement certificates to the 66 house beneficiaries and ownership of 66 developed plots of land free of charge worth 31.4 million rupees as well. Housing assistance was given to a number of low-income families in the area as well as many other benefits. State Minister Wasantha Senanayake, together with politicians of the region and residents of the area, were present on this occasion. The laying of the first stone in the construction of the new Dagaba at the Dimbulagala Siripura Ratmalkandiya Sri Isipatanaramaya was carried out under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena this morning. The construction of the Chaitya is scheduled to be completed within 6 months. Donation from residents of the area and wealthy individuals, together with the labour contribution of the Navy, have been received for this. The cost will be 3.5 million rupees. This construction is being implemented as the 15th stage of building Dagabas in temples where are none under the Sasunata Aruna program. A group of people, including The Mahasangha Minister Sajith Premadasa and State Minister Vasanta Senanayake was present on this occasion.
Leader of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna Andhra Kumar Disanayake was selected as the presidential candidate of the National People's Power at the meeting held at the Golf Fairs grounds today. The National People's Power, which is led by JVP and comprises of 28 organizations, had organized this meeting today at Golf Fairs grounds. Andhra Kumar Disanayake was selected as the presidential candidate of this organization on this occasion.
ජාතික ජනබලවේගයේ ජනපති අපේක්ෂකයා ලෙස විජයග්‍රාහී දේශපාලන මිනිසා අනුර දිසානායක නාමය උණුසුම් සහෝදරත්වයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටින වගයි.
Leader of the JVP, Andhra Kumar Disanayake, said that he pledges that the trust of the people have given in him and the ties that they have with him will not be harmed, and also because he was proposed as the presidential candidate and the trust in the National People's Power movement. This battle, this is commencing today, he said he will make sure will end in victory. This is a battle, he said, that should definitely end in victory. He said that he invites all people at the juncture to select a path that will be bringing prosperity and to join them as a result. The JVP leader said that they will not harm the trust placed in them and pledge this in front of everyone. He further invited people who are not affiliated to any political party and do not vote for anyone to change to enable this country to be saved from the disaster it is facing. JVP leader said that they should work, raise their voices and take these voices to all villages and hamlets.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says that even though the government had no majority power of presidential powers amidst various challenges, it was possible for him to implement extensive development projects within the country. The Prime Minister emphasized that all powers and stability will be created and development will be speeded up further and development will be increased by 10 times. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived at the Mavatagama Sri Sugatharama temple. Subsequent to engaging in religious observances, the Prime Minister inspected the multitasking culture centre being constructed at this temple. Later, the administrative building constructed at the Paragahadeniya National School was handed over to the students under the patronage of the Prime Minister. A sum of 120 million rupees was spent on this. The new two-storied building constructed at the Mavatagama Central College at a cost of 58 million rupees was also vested in the students under the patronage of the Prime Minister. The four-storied building with the new Secretariat Office auditorium at Mavatagama was also declared open. A sum of 92 million rupees was spent on this. Subsequently, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe participated in a function to distribute land deeds ownership certificates in the Kurunegala district. It was held at the Mavatagama Samodaya Stadium. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the government was handed over to them in August of 2015, even when they did not have a president from their party and no majority in parliament. He said he was asked whether he could carry on with the government. The Prime Minister said he replied saying if he was given the government this time, he would not abandon it on the way through. The Premier also said that all of this world was done by a government which did not have a majority after deciding that this will be taken up to the presidential election. He said economic stability was brought about within the country. He also said that during the first 2 or 3 years, everyone found fault with him. He said that amidst all the economy was stabilized. At the same time, income was increased and he said that they were able to settle debts as well. Due to the way the economy was developed in whatever field during this period of time, the level of income was increased from 50% to 100%. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe said that they have a giant step to take in the future. He said the reason was because they hope to set up an export economy in the forthcoming 5 years. The Premier said that they would acquire a majority next time and complete 10 times more work and show improvement. Later, some other development projects were vested in the public under the patronage of Prime Minister Wickremesinghe. A sum of 21 million rupees was spent on constructing the new 4-storied building at the Ethugalpura Kumara Vidyalaya. It was built under the closest school, the Best School program. The new 2-storied building at the Digampite Sri Piyaratana Mahavidyalaya Kurunagala was also handed over to the students. It was constructed at a cost of 28 million rupees. The garbage management project of the Yantampalava Sundarapula garbage yard was also declared open by the Prime Minister. A group of people, including Minister Vajra Abeyewardena, State Minister Ashok Wickremesinghe and members of Parliament participated at this occasion.
The Acting Inspector General of Police has called for a report from the Criminal Investigation Department in relation to 6 incidents including the murder of Lasantha Wickremesinghe and Wasim Tajuddin. Police media spokesman, Senior Superintendent of Police Ruan Kunasekara made this comment at a media briefing held in Colombo today. The report from the Criminal Investigation Department has been called for in connection with the murders of Lasantha Wickremesinghe and Wasim Tajuddin, the abduction of Keith Nohar, the murder of 17 relief workers, the abduction and disappearance of 11 youths. In addition, these investigations of the incidents of the abduction and disappearance of journalist Eknaliguda is also included. Police media spokesman SSP Ruan Kunasekara said that including the incident into the abduction and disappearance of journalist Eknaliguda, a report into 6 incidents has been called for the time of Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police of the Criminal Investigation Department. Accordingly, he said that in relation to these 6 investigations based on 11 factors, separate files have to be prepared in connection with each incident, and the Criminal Investigation Department has requested that they be handed over on or before 23rd of August.
Meanwhile, the new 3-storied building complex at the Bandaragama Hospital was declared open under the patronage of Minister Rajit Senaratne today. Member of Parliament of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Kumara Velgama, was also present. This building was constructed using financial provisions of the Ministry of Health, Nutrition and Indigenous Medicine. It comprises of an emergency treatment unit, an outpatients treatment unit, dental and other operating theatre facilities. The project was implemented with the objective of providing health and care for everyone in the Western Province. A group of people, including the Governor of the Western Province, A.J.M. Muzamil, joined this occasion. Minister Rajit Senaratne said that when he took over, only 3% of patients at government hospitals were getting stents put in. From the remaining 97%, about 2% come after they have suffered a second heart attack. But stents cannot be inserted at this stage and only open heart surgery can be done then. Patients had to face this situation due to their poverty. Although there was free health services, then the situation was like this. The minister said that today no patient has to face that situation because stents are being inserted throughout the day. Member of Parliament Kumara Velgama said that yesterday a factory manufacturing a motor vehicle was opened yesterday. The Prime Minister was invited too, as well as opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa was invited, but he did not come. The reason he said was because his brother was contesting the presidential election, and due to his busy schedule, later the Prime Minister declared open the factory. Today, social media is saying that Velgama is working for the UNP. He said he does not change sides. He said that when he dies, he will still be a member of the SLFP. He also said that freedom is required to enable them to do whatever they want to. He said, however, their choice is wrong. He said he wished that the next state leader will be a good democratic individual and someone who does not lose his temper soon, and not a person who will harass journalists and the public through media, and someone who can bear it up when the government is being criticized.
Meanwhile, the UN has appreciated the manner in which the government has taken efforts to guarantee the safety and the security of the displaced asylum seekers and refugees following the incidents of the Easter Sunday attacks. The UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religion on behalf Ahmad Rashadid made these comments during a meeting at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Religious or Belief, Ahmad Shahid, called on Minister Tilak Marapana at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, commencing his official country visit to Sri Lanka. During the meeting, Minister Marapana said that it aligned with the government's policy of engaging in an open, transparent and constructive dialogue with the international community, including the UN. A number of visits of special procedures mandate holders have been facilitated. The special UN rapporteur also attended a meeting of relevant government officials chaired by Foreign Secretary Ravinatha Ariyasinghe. This meeting was attended by a number of government agencies. The special rapporteur is expected to visit several areas in the northern, eastern, northwestern and central provinces during his visit from August 15th to till 26th. He will also meet with a cross-section of religious leaders, representatives of the civil society, as well as with the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka.
The European Council has further extended the listing of the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam as LTTE as a terrorist organization, and the new listing of the banned organizations is cited in the latest review document issued by the European Council. The European Council took steps recently to update the list of persons, groups and entities subject to the Articles of Common Position on the application of specific measures to combat terrorism and repealing decision. According to the latest review, the European Council has taken the decision to extend the listing of Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, known as LTTE, as a terrorist organization. The next review and update of the list will take place during the first half of 2020.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that it is fortunate for India that it is the land where Prince Siddhartha was born. Participating in a lecture at the Royal Institute University in Bhutan, Prime Minister Modi said that his creation, Exam Warriors, was based on Buddhist teachings.
India is fortunate to be the land where Prince Siddhartha became Gautam Buddha, and from where the light of his spiritual message, the light of Buddhism, spread all over the world. Generations of monks, spiritual leaders, scholars, and seekers have burned that flame bright in Bhutan. My good friend, Prime Minister Dr. Chering wrote a Facebook post that touched my heart. In that post, he mentioned about exam warriors. And just now also, that student mentioned about that book. The Exam Warrior, a book I wrote about how to face exams without stress. Everyone faces exams in school and colleges, and also in the larger classroom of life.
The book Exam Warriors, which includes advice on how to face an examination successfully, was written by Prime Minister Narendra Modi last year. He has explained in his book how to face an exam while avoiding mental stress and obtaining required amounts of leisure and sleep.
The Ministry of Finance said that a procedure to grant promotions to 31,540 police personnel in the ranks of police constables and inspectors of police will be prepared. The minister said that the fact that was publicized in certain media that Minister of Finance Mangala Samaravira had stated that there was no money to provide promotions is totally false. The Management Services Department of the Treasury is in the process of preparing a method to grant promotions for ranks from police constables to inspectors of police without taking into consideration the vacancies that exist in the police department. A request was made by the Police Department and Defence Ministry to prepare such a method. In a statement issued by the Minister of Finance, it is said that the government has already made a policy decision for granting promotions to police officers. As soon as the information request from the Police Department is received with recommendations of the Salaries Commission and the approval of the Management Department, it is said in the statement that granting of promotions will be implemented.
The Excise Department has taken steps to introduce a special telephone number where the public can make complaints regarding illegal liquor. The number is 1913. The telephone line is in operation 24 hours of the day. The secrecy of the complaints will be protected through this phone line. Complaints regarding transporting and being in possession of illegal liquor can also be made using this phone number. Meanwhile, based on a tip-off received during a raid currently carried out in Alutgama and Meegama areas, artificially toddy manufactured illegally was taken into custody by the Excise Special Operations Unit. More than 15,000 litres of artificial toddy and barrels of other equipment used to produce this was also taken into custody. The illegal liquor was valued at more than 1.8 million rupees, the Excise Special Operations Unit said. The racket had been carried out secrecy for a long time. It had been revealed that filtered liquor, artificial toddy and arak are used in the manufacturing. The Colombo Excise Special Operations Unit is carrying out further investigations.
Now, 2 youths who were bathing in the Mahavali River close to the Mahayangania Mahavali Vidyalaya have drowned. Police headquarters said that 2 others are being treated at the Mahayangania Hospital Intensive Care Unit. The youths who lost their lives are residents of Wattegama and 17 and 21 years of age, namely Madhava Bandara Herath and Shalika Vimukti. A group which had been on a trip had gone to bathe in the Mahavali River at Mahayangania yesterday when they had been caught in a water current. The 4 persons who were drowning were rescued with the intervention of residents of the area. A group of police officers from the Mahayangania Police who had been in the area on duty joined in the operation to rescue the drowning youth.
Attorney at Law Eranda Valiange has been appointed as the new United National Party organizer of Homagama. The letter relevant to the appointment was handed over to lawyer Valiange this morning by party leader Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at Temple Trees. Eranda Valiange is the president of the National Youth Services Council. And in the world of sports is cricket. Sri Lanka succeeded in winning the first test played against New Zealand today by 6 wickets. It was played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. This is the first match that Sri Lanka participated in under the World Test Cricket Championship. And with that we conclude tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.